Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
So, we got a bit of a change
We do.
in motion. We're not Casey and JoJo anymore. What are we gonna be? Casey?
Oh,
we gonna be Casey and the Sunshine Band because
what they say in the Sunshine Band? Baby, come back. That's not them, is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
So we should look that up. My last name changed. I'm no longer Clayton. I am now Smothers. So we are now KC and KS. Gotta go back to my roots.
Go back. Back to the roots.
Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Litimate Conversations. This is our special mother-daughter edition of our episode. And you see this beautiful young ladies that we have sitting up here. It was Kim's smart idea to set us up to have our own children on the show. I promise you she was not drinking that morning that she came up with the idea. But we have her two beautiful daughters here with us on the panel this morning, and we are so excited. So we will start with Kim.
So I have my 19-year-old daughter here. She's my oldest, my first bundle of little joy I ever had. So her name is Layla Cyan.
Hi. Hi.
And can you give us 2 fun facts about you, Layla Cyan?
2 fun facts about myself. Okay, well, obviously you said I'm the oldest. My first fun fact, I guess, would be that I had the chance to be in a movie when I was 12. Don't ask about it. And also around that time, or like right before that time, I did 2 years of acting and modeling through John Casablanca.
Yeah, you make it talented.
So tell us a little bit more about you, Layla.
More about me. I am currently I'm going into my junior year, my 3rd year of college at Georgia State University. I'm studying psychology with a pre-med concentration. Of course, I'll go to med school and do my residency after this. I also plan to apply that to the film industry, just to advocate for substance abuse. I love adventures. I like going outside. I like trying new things most of the time. I don't go outside too much because I'm pretty much allergic to everything outside. But it's okay. It's good. We live and we learn, right?
Well, thank you, Layla.
Now you're a bundle of joy.
All right, so this morning I have with me my daughter, Brisha Chastity.
Oh. She said,
Brisha, tell us 2 fun facts about you.
I'm a student. I'm a sophomore at Georgia Southern, majoring in psychology. And another fact, my birthday is Monday.
Happy birthday. That's right.
Thanks.
I think we took that day off, didn't we?
No.
Oh, we didn't.
She'll be 19. She's the only child that I have. Oh. Tell us more about you, Brisha.
I'm adopted, but biologically I have, how many siblings do I have? Oh, it's 6 of us. I'm the baby. I want to use my psychology degree to work with children, specifically younger children. I really don't know what else to say.
That's it.
I think so.
Okay. So yes, Brisha is adopted, but she's still my baby. I've been in her life since she was born. So we are not strangers at all. So
Far from it.
Yeah, far from strangers.
Far from it.
So yes. All right. So 2 very unique mother-daughter relationships here. And so Kim also picked the book of the month. You want to tell them why you picked this book?
I did. So funny thing is, when I was telling it, so we decided to read this month Terry McMillan's first book. This is the first book that she published. This is what made Terry McMillan, and this is Mama by Terry McMillan. And surprisingly, a lot of people forgot that she even wrote this book. It's been so long ago that this book came out, and everyone was like, no, her first book was Waiting to Exhale. And I was like, no, it's not Waiting to Exhale. It's definitely Mama. And I remember reading this book, sneaking and reading this book when I was 11 years old, because I was like, oh, this book is so, it was a different cover. And I was like, oh, I'm going to read this book. So this is the first grown-up book I've read.
Really?
Yeah, right after I read this, I read one of Elin Harris' books.
My first grown-up book was Fly Girl by Omar Tyree. Still tell everybody that every coming of age young lady should read that book. Tracy was a trip. But I was very shocked to find out that a lot of people had not made the correlation between the fact that Terry McMillan wrote Waiting to Exhale and How Stella Got Her Groove Back, which to me showed the disconnect between the literary world and the film world, where people are thinking that a lot of things that they see on television are novel ideas, and they're not. Waiting to Exhale and both How Stella Got Her Groove Back were huge movies. They were humongous movies, big successes. I mean, we all talk about, Angela Bassett flipping the cigarette. Who doesn't know that scene? You know what I mean? So it was really shocking when people were like, oh, that was a book. Yeah, Terry McMillan wrote that. So she came back a few years ago and wrote, about a decade ago, I guess, maybe two, Getting to Happy. And then she released one a couple of years ago. So she's actually still actively writing. So please check out the incomparable Terry McMillan. And if you haven't seen either of those movies, find them on streaming. They're worth the watch.
And I actually think she has a new series coming out with Summer Cree and Grayson Atkins.
Oh,
There's a series coming out where I can't remember the name of that one, but yeah. One of her books is made into a series now.
So I guess let's do some.
Oh, wait, you didn't tell everybody what we're doing.
Yeah, some library news.
No, I'm talking about the charcuteries.
Oh, yeah. These are not paddles. They are charcuterie boards, and we have people that you can't see on camera who are actually building their own charcuteries today. We thought this was the perfect activity for moms and daughters to work on together. We have moms and daughters, we have aunts and nieces, we have grandmothers and granddaughters, we have best friends here from Virginia. We have a lot of people here who are working together to build charcuterie to help us kind of celebrate this book and lead this discussion. So yeah, you see the girls sneak out in just a few minutes to go grab their supplies to build the charcuterie, but we're going to keep the conversation going. So you want to just dive into the book?
We can dive right into this book, baby.
Let's get it.
Listen. No. When you called me and said, why did she open up this book like this? I was like, why indeed, man?
Let's talk about it.
You're going to read the first
I'm going to read the first lines of the book because nobody prepared me. I had never read this book before. The first sentence of the book is, Mildred hid the axe behind the mattress of the cot in the dining room. Now, Mildred, why? Why are you starting your day off like that, Mildred? That's the first line of the book.
She wasn't really starting her day off like that. She did that before she went and fixed her cup of coffee for the morning. She went and hid the axe behind her.
Then Mildred checked all three butcher knives to make sure they were razor sharp. Listen, Mildred. Listen here. Sorry, Celine. Listen, Mildred. Mildred was about the business. She was not playing.
She was not playing.
Mildred had a rather colorful life.
She did. For me, I'm not going to say I can relate to hiding butcher knives and axes because I cannot. That is not my life. I don't desire that life at all. However, she was in a place of, in my opinion, the way I read it, Mildred was in a place of extreme stress, extreme search, and process and progress. You know, that's the way I viewed her.
I think she had not yet found out how to properly, or should I say effectively and safely navigate the different relationships in her life. I think she had so many different relationships that she was trying to maintain that they all got lost in the sauce. They all became like a stew. And like you said, it became stressful because she didn't know how to navigate from one place to the other. You know how you have work Kim, you have mama Kim, you have outside Kim, and you created these methods on how to navigate each one of those. I don't think, at the beginning of the book, I'm not sure Mildred had mastered that particular part of her life.
Right.
So talking and bringing in the girls.
I just want to say this as well. Mildred started having kids at a super young age.
She did.
So I feel like that also was a thing for her.
And because she was growing up, and you hear a lot of moms say that. You hear a lot of young moms say that. Like, I was growing up while I was raising a child. We were growing up together. But I think that dynamic can be different for each mom. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody approaches that differently. My mom was rather young when she had me. She was 22, freshly married, new in a career. And she says to me, like, sometimes, like, I was finding myself as I was raising you. So some of the things, that I taught you were things that I was learning myself. And I think once you grow up and your children grow up, it becomes more important for you to kind of intercept their path to teach those lessons that you think you learned late.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think Mildred had some of that going on in her rearing of her children.
Right.
But she was still learning. I mean, she was married to one man, she was in love with another.
Another one was in love with her. Oh, Mildred. Girls, what do y'all think about it?
About the book?
Yes, what do you think about the book?
To kind of like piggyback off of what y'all were saying, like, yeah, I think she did start having kids at a very young age, and I think that did affect a lot of her mental capacity. And I think that, like you said, she was trying to teach her kids as she was learning herself, and it's kind of really hard to do that as kids. Not for a long time. Right.
Amen.
Okay. But I can imagine that it's pretty difficult when you're young, when you're, especially with the person that she was married to in the beginning was Crook. And as you can see, she started the chapter off saying that she hit an axe. So you can imagine, like, when somebody is constantly nagging at your mental health, and then you got everybody else in the world to focus on besides yourself, and it's like,
I have a question. I'm gonna pencil that in a minute. What do you think about it?
Really, I have nothing else to add on because y'all didn't really say everything like that I was thinking.
I would also say that there was, like, I feel like the book, like, speaking about the tone, it's a very serious conversation that a lot of people don't have, or it goes over a lot of people's heads, or, like, it's not really touched on a lot. But there was a few sprinkles of humor in there, which, kind of broke the seriousness, because I was giggling reading some of this, like, just the descriptions of the characters and stuff. But I think this was a really good coming of age story, and I think that a lot of people should read this, especially if you're a young woman, adult, whoever. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question.
Okay.
Grisha, let's say that you have your medical practice and you're doing great things, and Mildred walks in and sits on your couch. How would you help Mildred?
Baby, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't.
What's the one thing that stuck out to you that's like, yeah, we're going to have to work on this right here first?
The ex. in the knobs. I'm gonna have to address that first.
Okay. The anger issue.
Yeah. Cause why are we?
Channeling anger better.
Yeah. It's better ways to go about handling your anger, and better ways to. It's better ways to go about it overall. But that's definitely where I would start.
That'd be the first place.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
She like, look, I gotta close down today. You can't even come back. No.
Yeah.
I'm going back there.
That's the only session you can have. After that, I can't see you no more.
Is this why you're working with children?
Yes, this is exactly why I'm working with children.
Okay. That's why you're working with children?
Yeah. That's why.
Oh wow. Okay, Layla. She on your couch.
Right. How would I address this? I don't know. Like, I feel like this would be a gradual session. Like, I would have to start on how her day went that day, because we're never gonna get the same Mildred every time. So every different day, she's a different version of herself. So I would start with how she's doing today. And then from there, I would just take notes about like how she felt, if she ate, because sometimes she wasn't eating. What's bothering her the most was her biggest stressor, how are her kids doing, blah, blah, blah. And then from there, I would just take day by day to assess each of those problems. You know, let's say, for example, Freda, her oldest kid.
Frida.
Frida. Okay, Frida. Same thing. Frida, who was smoking cigarettes, knowing she ain't had no business. Or, you know, what's it? Money when he tried to run away because they was moving to Arizona. Just like those, I know she wanted to react in those moments, but sometimes it's just she has a disconnect with her kids because she's so emotionally overwhelmed. So I was trying to start with that and then work our way through, and hopefully we'll circle back around to her within a year or something.
So I think one of the cool things, or one of the things that we can, in both of your responses, as we're talking about the book, you talked about how sometimes Mildred didn't eat. You talked about Mildred's anger and how that has to be addressed. I think, her not eating is a sacrifice that she often had to make. And of course, sometimes you're going through life, you're stressed, you don't feel like eating, but at the same time, she was making a sacrifice. She was taking care of her children. As you all have grown, 19 and 3 days from 19, what's a sacrifice that your mom made that you didn't recognize she was making until you came of age? You want to start? Because we're grown. What's the sacrifice your mom made?
My mom used to work at Crystal's, but she was an educated woman. But she got a third job. She worked in the bookkeeping department at Sears. She helped handle payroll. And Sears Roebuck had went through a lot of changes over the years. So she was doing payroll, and then they moved her from payroll to a salesperson, which was like, that don't even correlate, but okay. So she ended up doing that. But of course, the check is different now because I'm working on commission. But I have years invested into this. So she ended up working at Sears, got a second job working overnight at a hotel, being a night auditor at a hotel, like 3 or 4 nights a week. And around this time, she was going back to college, so she was also putting herself through school. So she ended up getting a third job at Crystal's. so that she can afford her college tuition. So yeah, I was like, man, you worked at 3 jobs. That's crazy. Could never be me. And guess what it was?
You.
It was me.
It's just the second ways. I think for my mom, I realized when I grew up how much time she put into me. My mom was a teacher, career long, 35-year educator. And it wasn't until I got older and started like dealing with Brisha more often, when she was in school, that I realized that for her day never stopped. She was a teacher 24/7 because she had me. So it was important for me to excel for several reasons. But one of the reasons it was important for me to excel in her eyes is because she was an educator. So that ain't gonna look right if my child not excelling. And so, we had a couple of those nights where it was Johnny had 3, where it was kind of like, okay, I'm not good at math. And I say that jokingly because that was one of the most contentious times where my mama was like, how, where? And so one day she asked me, explain to me what you're doing. And she was like, oh, okay. She took a lot of time in making sure I was well read very early. She took a lot of time in making sure that I tried to understand as much as I did. And it didn't dawn on me until I became an adult and started kind of trying to shape my own child in her educational journey, that I realized that she was a teacher always. She never got to turn that off. She just became mama teacher. She was Mrs. Smothers, but when she got home, she was just Mrs. Smothers' mama teacher, So, so she never really had a lot of time. She sacrificed a lot of her self-care to make sure that I was okay. And I'm my mom's only child, so that's a different thing too. So, the kind of that level of attention is a little more concentrated with her because I was the only one she had. So yeah, I realized as an adult that time, that you don't get time back. You know what I mean? She put a lot of time into me, a lot of time into me. So I realized that was one of her biggest sacrifices. What you got, Bree?
Talking about time, I think about how like sometimes you stop doing the things that you enjoyed or like did like when you were modeling to to make sure that I was fine and to focus on me and my education because it did start to slack a little. But to push me and like you put more of your time into me and making sure that I stayed on track and I kept in the books and got myself back to where I was supposed to be instead of the place where I was heading. And I really do appreciate that.
Because we couldn't do that.
Okay.
And we graduated an honor student. So we worked real hard.
Excellent.
Okay, so I guess for me, outside of like the obvious discussion that we've all 3 apparently said, I'll say a different one. I think one of the biggest sacrifices my mom ever made was stopping at the beginning of her career to raise me, because she's actually really good at film. Like she like a writer. You could be a director. You were here looking at giving orders. Just like embodying cinema, and not even just cinema, but theater. Also dance and all of that stuff. But I feel like by now she could have been a world-renowned director or screenwriter or something at this point. But she does have 3 kids, so that does kind of put a block in her motion. But I feel like it also makes up because it's really good when I want to do those type of things, when I want to create a writer, when I want to write a script, when I want to make, like, for example, us doing this podcast right now, like, my mom, and I'm sure you too, but I know my mom is, like, definitely hands-on with this project. And I feel like it's not so much a sacrifice because we get to kind of do this together. Whether that's on this project, like we're all sitting here together today with our moms and our mothers, or this is a personal project. I've had my personal projects too. Or if it's just something for the community or just for the love of it, it is something that we get to do. But I do feel like that was a big sacrifice because, as you can see, almost 20 years later, she's still passionate about it.
Ooh, you were supposed to say no.
Yeah, you know that. Oh. Oh, my.
Look, it don't matter. They don't know. They don't. Well, you started off by saying I'm not saying. Almost.
Those are some great answers.
Those were. Okay, we did good.
I think they deserve a treat now.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all can get up so you can go make your boards. Kim and I will keep this conversation going. So, Kim, as they get up to go and make their boards, what do you think is the biggest misconception that children have about adulthood?
Oh, that you can do anything. Because listen, when I was growing up, I was told specifically, you can do however you want to do it when you get older. When you become an adult, you can do however you want to do it. I still ain't did nothing on the way I want to do it.
I didn't get that fairy tale. Where you get that fairy tale from?
So am I the only person in the room who was told when they grow up, they can do whatever they want to do?
You know what I did when I got grown? I turned on the air conditioner and opened the door. I did. I had to do that in my first apartment because I needed to know what the hype was about. And so now the air conditioner most of the time don't even come on because I'm a real adult now. But I was bucking the system then because I needed to know what the hype was about.
I'm gonna tell you what I did one time, and it just so happened that my dad was visiting me when I did this. I went and put one pair of pants in my washing machine and ran it.
It's a high grade line.
I put one pair of pants and I took the pants out, shook them out and threw them in the dryer. My dad was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm putting my pants in the dryer." He was like, "Put all the clothes in the dryer so they can dry." These are all the clothes. Oh! So I do not watch one thing because that happened in my adult life. So I don't watch one thing. My kids cannot watch one thing. Mostly because I don't want them to come back to visit me and try to not
Figure it out. I think too, money. I think money is a big misconception. I think the value of things versus the price of things. I think children don't understand how expensive adulting is. And I always tell Brisha and my goddaughter, don't go out and get bills too early because they never stop. Right. Once you get the first one, that's it. You can't get rid of it. You're going to have bills for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And I think because a little bit I blame social media. I think influencers make everything look so easy to obtain, and it's not that easy to obtain. So I think there's a big misconception about price versus value.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a lot of adults who never grasp the concept of value. They just get things and they don't take care of it.
Yeah.
I still have a pair of Timberland boots that my mom bought for me my freshman year in high school that are in pristine condition. She probably has no idea I still have those boots. I tried to give them to Brisha, but that was the thing. Like, I was in high school years ago, and Timberland boots have always been, the top of the line hiking boot, but they became fashionable. And I wanted a pair of Timberland boots. My mom made it happen. She got me the Timberland boots. But the caveat was you got to take care of them because I'm not buying you another pair. And so I took care of them, and they're still existing in 2026 in my closet. And
Wait, your feet right?
no, thank God. Have you seen my feet? Jesus. No. Thank you. Okay. I don't need my feet to grow anymore. But yeah, it's kind of that value. That those shoes were valuable to me. It wasn't about the price that she paid. It was about the value that they were. My mom making it happen for me, and I think sometimes that is lost in translation. You know, you can go out and buy this $1,200 Louis Vuitton bag or whatever, but if you don't value it, it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the things too. The money, the price, the value is a big misconception amongst the youth. Because these are not children.
But you know, so I think we have like some of the same issues when it comes to that too. Not issues per se, but like we have some of the same views. Because I know Risha loves a good bag,
Don't we all?
Mm-hmm.
but Layla is a collector. And she loves to find a good vintage Unienberg, a good vintage Coach, and a vintage grip, and you will forget she has that. And one day she'll pull it out, and this is a pristine condition. And I'm just like,
This face that I'm making is what my bank account is saying.
It's gonna be okay.
Ma'am, eat. No, but you know, I think too, sometimes my mom gets on to me about some of the things I'm introducing Brisha to. She's like, I didn't introduce you to that, how did you know? But I had an uncle that introduced me to designer very early in life. And one of the things he said to me was, it was never about the brand. It was about the fact that I needed for you to understand there was nowhere that you could walk into that you didn't belong. And so that was his thing. Like, you need to understand it. Yes, people buy these things, but this doesn't make you any less than them. So here's this one piece so that you'll know you're just as, you know what I mean? You all are equal. Just because they can afford whatever all the time doesn't mean that it makes you any less than they are. So it's kind of like making sure that your children are in these rooms and you do it in your own way. You know what I mean? And I think that goes as far as like education, degrees, making sure that they excel, because all of these different things increases their worth, their self-worth. It's not about what you look like to everybody else. It's about how you feel about yourself. So I'm not telling you to get a degree because I need for everybody else to say, oh, she got a degree. I'm telling you to get a degree because I need for you to be the best you that you can be. Does that always require a degree? Absolutely not. There are successful people that don't have degrees. But you have your aspirations. Both of you all have your aspirations. Your aspirations require a degree. Mm-hmm. So we're going to make sure that you take that path to get to where you need to. It has nothing to do with what anybody else is going to say. It's about your goals and what you want to do. So, let's see. So Mildred, so funny story. Mm-hmm. Mildred is the matriarch of the book. Mildred's oldest daughter, her name is Frida. Mm-hmm. And Frida is theoretically the family's second mama. Yeah. My mama's name is Frida. My mama is the oldest daughter, right. And my mama is everybody's second mama. And we talk about Mildred and we talk about the sacrifices that Mildred made, but we also have to be very, very clear that Frida made sacrifices as well. Because what a lot of people miss about those firstborn children, be it male or female, if they're not born into the right environment, they don't get to be children. They don't have true childhood. A lot of them are responsible for how many ever other children come along. They are able to be a child until the next child comes. And depending on the dynamic of the family, that can be very debilitating for anybody. That's a lot of stress depending on how early you pick it up.
With that being said, I'm gonna say this. One of my saddest moments of reading the book was when Mildred called Frida into the room to tell her that all other kids was getting a Christmas when she was one. And the only thing Frida wanted was the sewing machine to help make clothes for the other kids. She just wanted to be able to. So she was her wish was to help take care of the other kids, but still had to sacrifice because of the other kids. So I was like, oh, baby, freedom.
Yeah, I think, and two, that's a generational trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you grow up in a mothering state of mind, you then pass that on to your children. So they become hyper nurturing, for lack of, I don't even know this term. Hey, psychology people, is that a term?
It is today.
Ah, I like that. Hyper nurturing. Where that's what they want to do. They learn to want to take care of people, and that becomes how they place value on themselves, is how well I take care of other people, or how people respond to me taking care of them. And that can be so stressful. That can be very crippling for a lot of adult children.
But it can also flip, because I have a ton of friends who did not desire being a mother because they were assisting with raising their younger siblings. They're like, oh, I already did that. What am I going to do that for? I'm good. And they use their adulthood to revisit the things that they wanted to do. Like, think about how many females have regular adult sleepovers, like with their girlfriends. Like, oh, we want to do a summer party this month, and it's a regular thing for them.
I never desired to do summer party.
I
did one.
I wanted to do a summer party.
I did one.
Are you inviting me to a summer party? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not. I'm telling you, I don't like it. When the sun go down, go home. That's how I feel.
You know, so I will say this. I have never desired to participate in a summer party. And I think that's because one of my cousins that I grew up with, we were 3 days apart. And we were forced to constantly be together when we were together. And she is a disrespectful sleeper. And I was like, oh no. I don't want to do this ever again.
I've done one. Now it's different. I did the pallets on the floor with the cousins. You know, we all at grandma's house, at auntie's house. We did that.
That's the stuff.
But I'm not going to anybody else's house to sleep on the floor. There's something wrong with that. Why? Why am I coming to your house to party with you and I got to sleep on the floor? I don't like that.
They don't do that no more. The host goes and buys air mattresses.
Oh, we did that for McKinley.
Some people don't do that.
We did that for McKinley's party.
Some people be having them sleeping on the floor. Instead,
Yeah, not.
no.
It's just uncomfortable. I'm one of those people when nighttime comes, I'm ready to go to sleep. I want to be in my own space. I don't want to be in your space. I want to be in my space.
That's true.
But they're answering what the child version of themselves didn't get. Which child did you identify with most?
Money. That's all we need. Money.
You're so out of pocket.
No, because that man was like, listen, he was going to find a way out of that situation, regardless of the situation. You know, it didn't matter what he was going to do. He knew from a very early age, I need to stack these coins. You heard about money getting money, but you ain't never heard about money spending nothing. So that's it.
Layla and Brescia, how do mothers and daughters show love differently?
Elaborate on the question.
That's funny because both of them had the same way. What you mean?
What you mean by that?
The way that your mother shows love versus the way that you show love. The way that your mother shows love to you versus how you show love to your mother. How do those two things differ?
That's a question. I want to hear.
You can start.
Okay. I think that I know for a fact that my mom is not a very affectionate person, like outside of her children. The only reason she's affectionate to us is because we're her children. However, I don't think me and my siblings are like physically affectionate. Like we don't really hug. I don't hug my siblings. We all have handshakes. That's it. That's all you get at the end of the day. But my mom, she likes to hug us. She likes to like be kind of close to us, but also simultaneously, like if we just randomly touch her, then it's like, why? Why are you touching me?
You.
Right.
You.
That's the point. And
No,
it kind
Right.
of
I wasn't ready for that.
and it reflects in me too. But I think that's one of the ways. Also, quality time, just not necessarily spending or talking to each other or interacting with a lot of each other, but just being in your space. Like I like coexisting in my own space. Occasionally, I'll have a question, and we can talk about it, or maybe we're just binging a show. Our show that we usually binge is Bridgerton, so soon as new season come out, we're kicking our feet, and then we go back. Oh my gosh, last season was so hard though because I was at campus and she was here. And she calling me in the middle of her workday, and I'm calling her in the middle of my school.
Y'all watch such wholesome family shows together.
We should. Don't put our business out.
The last show we watched was Beauty and Black. That was what we binged.
Yeah.
But I think like returning of love and care and nurturing to her is I try to remember like very special dates, like her birthday. I'm really good at remembering birthdays. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm just saying, like her birthday, we'll try to get together, me and my siblings, and figure out what she would want. My mom is a earthy person, so she likes plants and stuff. So we'll get her plants, or we'll flowers, or the Devil Wears Prada ended up coming out like 2 days before her birthday or after her birthday.
I love this.
So I was like, okay, I'll buy the tickets for you and whoever you want to take to the movies. And that was her birthday gift. So but I think the thing is, it kind of just depends on who the person is. Like you have to love them in their way that they want to love. Like for example, like I was saying, affection is not like our strongest suit. Like gifts are a little better. You know, but I think that's.
Thank you. You're right. I don't like concessions.
Oh, it's my go. The relationship that we have is not your typical mother-daughter relationship. If someone would see us out in the wild, yes, out in the wild. If someone would see us out in the wild, they would be very concerned about our relationship because we don't act normal. We don't act normal like at all. Same thing with the same.
It don't matter. We on camera. It don't matter at all.
The same thing with the touching thing. I'll randomly touch her and she'll be like,
What do you
why
want?
are you putting your hands on me? Like,
What do you want?
see? But also, like, we spend a lot of time with each other and we do things that we both enjoy. And we spend a lot of quality time with each other, even though she says I'm only friends with her because she has money.
That's a good reason to be friends with her.
Ma'am, do not condone that.
I mean,
No, but we had this conversation.
Yesterday.
We just talked about this yesterday. We were driving back from Tennessee, and I was
wait,
saying,
y'all drive back from Tennessee after y'all spent the day.
we spent 3 days in Nashville.
Right.
And we spent the day driving.
We were
back
in the
and stopping
mountains
at Site.
that
We were
time.
actually
We
at
were in the
Lookout
mountains.
Mountain when we were having this conversation. We're driving down the mountain.
But I just want you to know that you told me that you took her to make her own chocolate.
Yes. So in Nashville, there's this place called Google Chocolate, and they are the home of the very first combination chocolate bar.
Yep.
And are stations in there where you can go in and make your own combination chocolate bar. So we woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning so that we could make it to Gugu so she could go and make her own chocolate bar.
And she did that for me because she's
I
not
don't
a
eat
chocolate
chocolate.
person, but I love chocolate.
I know she's not a chocolate person because we have things at work, and I'm like, oh, here's a chocolate. She's like, why you make that?
I eat
I
chocolate.
know that.
But we indulged together because I love museums. I love history. I love art. I love things like that. So we've been to like 2 or 3 museums already. And so, that was something that I knew. She likes sweets. She likes chocolate. So that was something that I knew. And we had gone and done some tours and some other things. And so that was like my way of being like, well, I know she would like this. So let's go do this. So, yeah. Yeah. But no, I am not a touchy-feely person. And a lot.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why are we like that?
I don't know. I don't know where that came from. And my mom, my dad hugged me all the time. They tucked me in the bed. I hug my grandma. I have aunties that are very huggy. I don't know where that came from, but I don't know. And it's a running joke between us. And she'll just randomly like poke me and run off because she knows like you don't want to be touched. Bam.
I'm gonna touch you
She'll
anyways.
take off.
Yep.
So no, those are sweet answers. Those are sweet answers, girls. Kim, what family traditions do you think are worth preserving?
You mean in the book or just in general?
From the book and in general.
To be honest, I don't think our kids are gonna preserve any of those family traditions. I think they're gonna be like, no, we gotta make some new stuff because all of their stuff is kind of trauma formed. And I believe that they all want healthier lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think any of their traditions will essentially. Now, there is something that I do with my kids. And it used to be a bigger family event when I had more siblings that lived here. But my siblings kind of like, whoa, one of them further out, like anybody wants that. And then one of them moved back home. So it's not as many of us here. So I don't even try to do it because everybody's busy. But one of the things we used to do that I still do with my children is fancy feasts. And fancy feasts is where we pick a country and everybody prepares a meal or a dish from that country. And then we sit around and talk about what we learned about making that meal, what was difficult about it. One of the hardest things when we're doing it as a big family, like all my siblings that were here and all of our kids, and when we were doing it like that, one of the hardest things I made was baklava. And to this day, I will not, that was my first and last time making baklava because it is extremely sticky and frustrating. And the people who make that for their families are making that out of the most purest of hearts and love because it was so much and so many steps. And again, it tastes delicious.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I needed to shower 3-4 more times just to get the stickiness off my skin because I was like, why is this baklava so sticky?
I had to take this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
We read a book where the family did that.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Thanksgiving? No, it was Christmas.
It was Christmas.
It's Christmas. Yeah.
So,
You did not share that you did that in real life. I thought it was the coolest idea.
no, we definitely, I try to find ways to incorporate an education portion and with something that I know my kids enjoy or that I know my family would enjoy. Like another tradition that we have is called pierogi salad. And this is, my brother married a German girl, or her family is from Germany, they're rooted in Germany. And up north in Michigan, where she's from, the day after Thanksgiving, to pay homage, they made pierogies from scratch to pay homage to the struggles in Germany. So she wasn't with her family one year, and she was like, "Oh, you guys want to make pierogies with me?" And we just started making pierogies with her every day after Thanksgiving. So when every now and then she'll call and say, "Okay, we're going to do pierogi salad again this year," and everybody comes. And we're kneading dough and stuffing and I love potatoes, so pierogi salad. We gotta do that again. If you're watching, let's do that again. Oh, you don't want to do pierogi salad?
I don't like pierogies. They're good, but
I think one tradition that is it's dying out, it's becoming extinct, are the family gatherings outside of holidays. When I was growing up, it would be nothing for a random Friday. We had a whole full-on crab boil, a spades table, a tonk table, the kids playing pool, watching a movie. We all at my auntie's house just living it up.
Right.
And I sometimes miss those gatherings outside of holidays, or now most people get together, it's a funeral
Right.
or a wedding. I think we need to be more intentional about having those intermediate get-togethers, because I think it develops an undeniable intimacy in the family. I know so many of my cousins that live up here, that are from down south where I'm from, that live in other parts, because we had kind of those impromptu get-togethers where my grandma's siblings had their kids, and then their kids brought their kids, and it was nothing for what was supposed to be a small get-together to turn into a mid-year family reunion, because now everybody's enjoying each other and we know each other. I think we're losing the importance of family knowing family.
You know, that's that. I agree with that 100%. And to piggyback off what you're saying, my kids know my third cousins, so they're my third cousins.
Are you saying that right? Did you know? Have you watched that chart? You know we're wrong, right?
No, how?
You know, because it's supposed to be, what is it, second cousin removed. See, because your third cousin is like your great grandma's first. It's weird. Like, you don't know the people.
Okay, so let me explain to you who they is, right?
So
Yes.
boom, I'm listening.
So my granddaddy, sister, son's son would be my
Second cousin,
because
first cousin twice removed,
because
I think. Or
let me make it simple. My mama's first cousin's son.
that's your first cousin twice removed. So it goes by generation, not by, you know what I mean? So I think third cousins is like, your first cousins are your mom's
Siblings.
and then their children go down.
Right.
Your second cousin is your grandma's
Kids.
cousins.
Oh,
And then your third cousin is your great grandma's. Like, I think that's how it goes. It's something about the generations. It's not how we do it where my kids and your kids, and it's 1, 2. It's not that simple.
oh.
Yeah, we got to watch the video, because I had to watch it like 3 times. I was like, oh, see, we're from the country.
Well, I'm a twist it for you a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I call him cousin.
Mm-hmm.
My kids call him uncle.
Moving along.
Oh.
Sounds about right. Sound about right. Sound about right.
Not the sounds about it. I mean, but in other countries, auntie and uncle are terms of respect.
Generation.
Yeah,
Right.
they are,
Right.
and I get that. You know, and she's got aunties that ain't gonna share a bit of blood with her. So,
Right.
but because I was the only child, I get to pick myself. You belong to me, and you belong to me.
Oh no, but that's the other rule. The other rule is because like Curly May, even though
Now, who is Curly May?
Curly May was Mildred's sister,
Mm-hmm.
but it was her husband's sister, but they disowned the husband both at the same time, and they were just sisters to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So Curly May,
I like that. I like that sentiment. I just get rid of the people I don't like.
right?
But I'm gonna keep you.
Right.
You can stay, but I don't want who you attached to.
That's what they did. Look, Curly May was like, listen, you my sister forever. She like, ain't that the truth? So they were sisters forever, and they just had what's his face?
Oh, what's his face? Oh, what's his face?
But yeah.
We were talking about, y'all know how we got, because I didn't ever ask the question, the child we identify with the most. I identify with Frida because I could see a lot of my mom.
Okay. So I'm gonna say she only child. Okay.
I could see a lot of my mom. Don't get it twisted, because when I'm the only child, you got to be the first, second, and the third child. You all the children. You all the children. You don't even know what you're not supposed to take on as an only child because you're watching the model of who's raising you. So I learned a lot of things about independence and excelling and success and expectations from my mom. I'm my mom's only child. I keep saying it like that for a reason. I'm my mom's only child. My parents had, baby, they didn't play the radio at all. I remember one time I brought home a report card full of bees. And my mom was like, who is this? Whose report card is this? This is not y'all. What did you do? Did you just go to school? I said bees. I didn't say else. I didn't say bees. My mama said, what did you do? Like you did anything. Because bees, that was not my caliber. My parents didn't play. So when it came to taking care of business, I could relate with Frida because you learn how to make stuff happen. You know what I mean? With the least amount of external interference possible. Because I've been taught that I have to take care of it. I have to take care of it because nobody else is going to take care of it. I think that can be a safe and an unsafe space to be in, right? I think platonically and individually, it feels like a safe space. I think you go into a dangerous space when you look at it professionally and romantically, because you don't know how to turn off that it's me. I got to take care of me. It's okay with your friends because your friends get that part of you. They understand that. But when you go into different realms, you can't come into a professional workspace and say, I got it.
But you know what though? I'm good for that because I go, all right, don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's something you have to break. I think Layla, Grisha, psychology, I think that's a hyper independence response. So you don't want to help me right now?
Right, because I asked you already. Right.
I got it.
Right.
Don't worry about it. And I think sometimes we have to give people the grace of maybe they need to prepare. Maybe they can't do it right now. I have not learned that superpower because if you don't understand how much time I've taken to come to you and say I need help.
That part.
That's the problem.
Listen.
So I have pondered. I've pondered. I've processed. I've set aside my ego to come and tell you I need help. And you're going to look at me and say, not right now? Don't worry about it because I'm not coming back. And I think that's a response that I had to work on that. I really did have to work on that.
Did you work on the part where you be like, lucky I ain't knock all this stuff over on the way out? I'm still working on it.
I'm going to knock something over. It can be this cup. So got it. But I think, with Frida, learning to nurture very early was something I could relate to because that was something I've always watched my mama nurture. And I don't mean that in a way where I feel like it's not a negative on my mom at all. My mama said, period, she wanted to be a teacher. That's all she's ever wanted to do. She says she knows that she was born to be a teacher. She is from the tip of her toes to the top of her head, 100% a nurturer. That's just who she is. That's who she was created to be. And so, having all of those pieces of her that were instilled in me I could see just remnants of that in Freedom. Even outside of the trauma, you know what I mean? I could see pieces of myself in my mom and how she progressed throughout the book. So, yeah.
So you just said something I want to ask girls. Risha,
Hey.
right now, at the age of soon to be 19,
Mm-hmm.
what do you believe that you were put on this earth to do?
I do believe that I was put on this earth to help others. I'm not necessarily sure in what fashion of how to help others, but as of right now, I want to talk to people because I'm very good with getting people to open up. So I feel like that's what I'm here for. That's what I was put on earth to do.
Listen, but you know the funny thing is because okay, go ahead. What do you think that you were put here on this earth to do?
I feel like if you decide to take a career in psychology, then you have to be able to want to help people. I feel like that's your purpose, to help people. My friends call me a fixer. They'll tell me I go to fix a problem. I'm a problem solver, a troubleshooter, however you want to put it. But I'm always trying to come up with a solution to any and every problem. But my strong suit is in emotion. So that's how I ended up in psychology. I think that I was like dealing with a lot of people's emotions over the years, and then sitting for a long time and pondering my emotions and figuring out why I was reacting the way that I was reacting. I think that made me realize that people come to me and open up to me for the littlest things, and that I could like genuinely, truly help them. So, let me try psychology. So, I think I am going to be a great psychologist.
You
That's
are.
later, but you're not going to go into counseling. We're going to go into psychiatry so
Yeah.
that I can have fun with the science.
Yeah.
Not the legends, the science.
Do you think you were put here to be a librarian?
I think I was put here to care for people. I do think I was put here to show people a level of care and love that they've never experienced before. I was a pre-med major in college. A lot of people don't know that. I wanted to be a pediatric neurosurgeon. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I thought I wanted to be a teacher, but I didn't want to follow in the footsteps of my mom. And I got my first library job, and I realized my manager at that time was like, "You're built for this. Like, this is what you should do. You should really look into it." And the more I got into it, I realized there was another way that I could take care of people. I think I was placed here as an intermediary point of learning, teaching people how to love themselves. I think the downside to that is sometimes I get hurt in the process. No, don't touch me. No, but I think, and I mean, I think it does make you emotional sometimes because you're like, no, I poured so much into this because I don't know how to give halfway. So when you get pieces of me, you get all of me. And sometimes I'll drain myself to make sure you're taken care of. And I think that's my gift and my curse is that sometimes I think I'm placed here to show a level of care that people have never experienced. And it's just now in this middle part of my life where I'm understanding that care may not always be reciprocated, nor may it be appreciated, and that I have to learn how to detach when it's time to detach.
Right.
So.
Okay.
No, ma'am. Answer the question.
What's the question?
Okay, I got a good question for you.
You guys have questions?
Oh God.
They pondering. They
I know. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to think. We were talking about the paths. Why you think you're here? Like, you know, why? What do you think your purpose is? As the Peacock children grew, as Mildred's children grew older, they began making choices that didn't align with what Mildred wanted them to do. Right? How do you think we, as your parents, balance protecting you while also allowing you to make mistakes?
That's good. These are some good questions, Kim. It's a slow walk back and forth that they do together. They don't meet and everything.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I think by now, like, the audience can tell that I grew up in the arts. Like, I went to performing arts in elementary school. I did not follow that path all the way through high school, but obviously it circled back around at some point. And I feel like being exposed to that environment is very demanding, very like high pace. So while I was able to experience it, you know, for example, the quickest example I can give is during acting and modeling age Layla. She was getting calls for like Disney and to go on auditions and all of that stuff, but they said that my mom wasn't allowed to be in the room with her, right? So I feel like that's when my mom intervened and was like, absolutely not. That's not happening. And when I was younger, I didn't understand that at the time. It wasn't until I got older and I started developing my mind and I was like, oh, you know, these things are happening with these child actors, all that stuff, to which is how I ended up on my pathway now, wanting to do substance abuse. But I feel like her intervening really did protect me in that moment because God knows what.
Anything could happen.
But that's probably my best example. Being able to experience things, but once you know that you're towing over your limit, where you are no longer safe and all of that stuff, then it's like, all right, come back, let's regroup.
It would be with you, like you providing me the guidance and talking to me about some of these things, but you also give me the space because, like, you know, you don't learn unless you make a few mistakes down the line. And so you let me make my mistakes and then we will regroup, or you don't let me get too far into the mistake before you pull me back and like, hey, so this is not what we talked about. I need you to get it together. I don't like how you staring at me.
You still like when she said, hey.
When she's staring at me.
What is this? This is going to be a big one for y'all. What is it that we, as your moms, have disagreed on, but ultimately you learned a lesson from? I can go first. I used to be very abrupt with Brisha. And I used to pretty much give her a time frame to get over it. You got in trouble, you got T minus however much time. Hey, you threw your temper tantrum now? And I had to learn that I had to give her the same respect to process her emotions as I need as an adult. That took a whole lot of around the way. She had to learn in that same instance that even though her emotions may be high, she still had to speak with me with a level of respect outside of her anger. And I had to learn that I had to give her a level of respect as well because she was still at that point in time learning how to process a lot of her emotions. And I felt like, you're 12, you don't need that much time to process your emotions. Okay, you came downstairs, you want to eat, let's talk about the problem. And so that was something that I had to realize, really quickly. With that was a change that I had to make. So, yeah.
In my opinion, as I look at my other two children out here, I'm awesome. And they just be like, yeah, she's good. She's good.
Somebody's like,
Ooh.
Ooh. Do tell.
I do not really like, you know what? No, so I'm gonna tell you this. I will say this. I believe that when I say X, Y, Z, like I'm not a fan of repeating myself, especially to my children. So if I say X, Y, Z, and they're not willing to do X, Y, Z in my time frame, then I just make them do it for me. And sometimes that may look like you being pushed through a car window.
Wait.
That math don't math at all.
I should be ready to go.
You know what? Let's let the girls answer, because you always going off the rails.
Good thing the door is not here, right?
You know what?
What was the question? That just threw me so off.
What have we disagreed on that you ultimately learned a lesson from? Don't act like we won't disagree.
I'm trying to think.
We disagreed more when you were younger
Yeah.
than we do now.
Risha said she has not learned any lessons.
Is that what that means? Oh, I thought she was trying to say we didn't disagree, but now you just brought another
No.
perspective.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to find something more specific.
I love it. That makes me look good. Like, look, you don't have an answer either.
No, you cannot talk to your siblings about this.
How about we answer this? What is one thing you've always wanted your mom to understand about you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is it the camera? Is it the questions? What is it?
This is funny.
Hey, so get back. It's a cat.
There is a cat.
It's a cat.
Oh, it's a clean cat. It's a boy too. Sarah, you gonna get him? It's coming back to the back. Can you see it? Okay, let's keep going.
I'm very confused about that cat.
Yes, we did just have a cat to kind of crash the show. Oh, well,
And they carried it outside.
okay. Well, the cat stole the show.
Okay.
I think
You gotta
Miss,
re-ask that question.
I think Miss Sarah.
Oh, she has the cat. Oh.
Oh. All right. What's one thing you've always wanted your mom to understand about you?
You have an answer?
My siblings in the audience. They said that they would like to just time management.
Oh.
Let's see. Why would y'all make me to do this by myself? Anyways, I don't know how that's like about me because I'm pretty good on time. Well, I feel like I suffered from a lot of panic attacks and anxiety when it comes to being to places on time. Very much like it just makes me nauseated when I'm not on time. And actually, it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm actually not even going to do this anymore. You know, we were supposed to be here at 10 o'clock and it's 10:05. I'm undressing and laying back in bed because at that point, there's no point. And, you know, like I was raised with the mindset, if you're on time, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, that's unacceptable. So time management is definitely a big thing. And, you know, someone likes to run late.
I don't like to run late.
Someone runs late.
I know run late. But it's not because I like to. But I digress.
Right. But I think we all suffer from anxiety and stuff when it comes to being time phobia. So we gotta work on that a lot.
She said we gotta work on it.
Yes, you know.
Okay. I think we're past this, but like, when it comes to like, how do I word it? Get back. When we would have like discussions about different things, especially like when I was younger, about the being patient about my emotions and then your emotions be on high. And then like also like I'd be very scared to talk about how I feel in general. And so like you're trying to force me to talk about how I feel, and I don't even understand how I feel, nor do I know how to put what I feel into words. But I feel like we've gotten better with that since I've gotten older because you've been more patient.
Because you're going to talk to me.
Oh, okay. You're giving me my time to like process my emotions, and then we'll regroup and come back and talk about it.
We got to grow as parents, I think. I think too, you know, what this book also shows is that eventually children grow to see their moms, their parents as people instead of just a parent. That actually happens as you get older. You begin to understand that she was more than your mom in all times of life. And that's where you begin to understand the sacrifice. That's where you begin to understand their growth, their maturity, the changes that they had to go through, because you're understanding that they're your parent, but they're still evolving as an individual as they're helping you grow up. And so I think sometimes, you know, as a child, some people don't see that until, you know, they're very, very grown. They're always seeing their parent as a parent. But I think that is one of the greater joys of adulthood, is having that awakening when you realize my mama or my daddy is more than my mama or my daddy. You know what I mean? I know my mom was an educator. She wasn't just my mom, you know. My mom had hundreds of children. You know, I just happened to be her biological one. My dad was a Marine, and you know, theoretically, he had thousands of soldiers, troops, thousands of Marines that fell up under him as well. You know, those were different aspects of who they were outside of my mama and my daddy. And I think that book shows that even though those children grew up in their trauma, there's a point in each of their lives where they reach understanding that Mildred was Mildred for Mildred's reasons. So
I want to say this because one of my kids burned a baby out. And one of the things that she is always, like, she is a grandchild fanatic. Like, she loves her grandkids, okay? She's like, I love my grandkids. She loves them. And there is not anything she will not move around to be a part of whatever they have going on. But one of the things that sticks out to me the most about her that she has said to me repeatedly, I was not able for my children. I'm going to do everything for my grandchildren. Because she was living a totally different life. And the life that she lives now is not the life that she was living when she was raising her actual children. So now she's like, nah, what my grandbaby need? What my grandbaby need? Like, I remember when my youngest was born, she did not go to work that day. She was like, yeah, y'all can see me later. Later for that. Later for that. I'm not coming to that job today. Later for that. And she was at the hospital all day. Like, all day. And that was just a beginning of a different version of her developing. And I see that the older I've gotten, I see that as a woman, there are so many different versions of you as you transition into different phases and different passions in your life. You know, it definitely changes. And Mildred she was every day. It was a change happening every day. She was becoming a different version, like Risha said, a different version of herself every day. And I understand that more, you know? Like, I understand how a mom, like I told my niece the other day, I was like, why every time I talk to you and you're gonna call my mom, you get Chick-fil-A? And she was like, because we go to Chick-fil-A. You know what my Chick-fil-A was? That bologna sandwich in the house. That's my Chick-fil-A. If I want Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna get this bologna sandwich. That was in the discussion. But every time I talk to you, you at Chick-fil-A. So you just do differently, you know? And I just think that's amazing. Oh, Layla had a question.
yes, Layla.
You want it to be a rapper?
All right, a question for both of you. So, at this point, y'all have been a mother for
Mom years.
right, right, and I guess the question would be, if you could go back in time, because Mildred did not have that answer. If you could go back in time when you found out, because she's your only child, I'm her first child, right? That maybe like a year before, like right around the time that y'all found out that y'all were going to be a mother, what advice would y'all give to yourselves?
That's different for me. Because Brisha, I didn't have responsibility for Brisha until she was 4. The advice that I would have was you're allowed to make mistakes. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it right. Because parenting is different for everybody else. So what you think is what your mom thinks is right may not be right for your child. So you take the path that you think is best for the person that you're rearing. When Risha lost her dad tragically, he was my cousin. One of the reasons that it was important for me to stay in Risha's life was because I knew that he would have done it for me. Had something happened to me tragically and I had children, I knew he would have never hesitated to take my children. So it was second nature for me to be like, oh, this is my child now. So when it came time to make the decision about adoption, it was a no-brainer. Like, of course she's mine. She's always been mine. And that was a joke that we had when he was living. Your child need clothes. Come take your child school shopping. She was always my child. She had an attitude like me. she had a mouth like mine. And he would always say that, like, this child is more like you than she is like me. And so it was never a question on should I. My biggest concern was how do I. So I think it's important to understand that you are uniquely you in motherhood. You cannot mother like anyone else has mothered because you are you and your child or your children are your children. And I think that you can attest to this when you answer your question, but you mother each child differently. The way I mothered Grisha and the way I auntie my godchild in the loss of her mother are two, because they're two completely different personalities. You have met Malaya. So they are two completely different people. And in the little bit of mothering that I'm able to give her, it's nowhere near the same that I would do for Grisha because they're unique. So, and I think I learned that from her mom too. Like, I think that's something that Jonave taught me was you can only be the mother that you can be. And you have to be able to live with that. So, because you don't get a do-over.
Right.
Yeah.
The advice that I would give myself if I go back to the year prior, it would be take the job. It would be take the job. So, yeah, I had an opportunity to work, and this was like early 2000s, to work at CNN, making close to yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't have a degree in what they offering me. I was smug. I was like, I don't have a degree yet. I'm not done school yet. Y'all want to give me this much money? Let me go back to school and finish my education. And yeah, switch careers, switch education. So yeah, my advice would be take the job.
Take the job.
It would provide so much more stability you might get if you take the job.
Okay, so it's time to wrap up. So girls, I have a series of statements that I want you to succinctly finish in whatever way you see fit. Mom, I never knew blank until I became older. Grisha. Succinctly.
Come at me.
Okay.
I never knew how important it was to maintain your peace until I got older.
That's a good one. Okay, Bree.
I never knew how to prioritize my mental health until I got older.
Did you learn that from me?
Good job.
Oh, okay.
Good job, me.
Okay, Layla. One thing I'm grateful you taught me is.
One thing I'm grateful that you taught me is go and do so much more. Like dive in first, Do it if you're gonna do it big and do it with all the passion and everything you can. Possibly gathering your fiber, do it. And know that, like, no matter the outcome, you'll be happy that you did it.
Okay.
One thing I'm grateful that you taught me is to never give up despite how tough things may be or how tough things may seem, to keep going and to just push yourself through and never give up. Finish all the way to the end.
All right. Last question. Kim, this is for us, to the girls. I hope you know that.
I hope you know that as long as I hope you know that whether I'm on this earth or not, I am your biggest fan and putting as much energy as I can muster behind you.
Brisha,
Oh, okay.
I hope you know that I love you and I am immensely proud of you, and that every step that I make in life is to set you up so that you can succeed. That goes from being your biggest fan, your biggest supporter, to surrounding you with people that are going to love you and support you just as much as I do.
You're so sweet sometimes.
You're a little girl. That was me.
We thank you so much to our audience for building your charcuteries and helping us. We'll have conversation after the camera goes off. Thank you to those of you who have watched us live. We will answer any questions that we have. You can feel free to come and continue the conversation with us in the library. Kim Jones and I are always here at the headquarters library. We are always excited to have these conversations with you all. Litimate Conversations is our baby, and we love to have these conversations. Stay tuned. We will be dropping our next promo on Monday for our June book.
I have a question.
Okay.
Are we gonna let the guys do a Father's Day?
Yeah. So we're gonna bring the guy. We're gonna run it back again. We're gonna bring the guys back. As you know, in the month of April, we had our amazing director, Scott Parham. We're going to try to get him back in the building along with some other heavy hitters in the county so that we can get them on the couch and drill them again. If you did not watch our April episode, it was absolutely amazing. You learned a lot about our director, his upbringing, and you know how it shaped him to be the successful man that he is today. And we're going to get the opportunity to have those same kind of conversations with other men in the county. So we're excited because some of these men are very stoic in the community. So we want to see what it is, you know, that we can get out of them. So we're excited about next month. Please stay tuned. We are right in the midst of SRP. All of our libraries are celebrating the 2026 summer reading program, which is Unearth Your Story. So please be sure that you check out your local Clayton County library system. Remember, we have 6. Check out the library branch in your community and go to your branch to find out what particular programs they have in store. Mm-hmm. We also have a host of America 250 initiatives that are going on. We have some grant funded initiatives, so please look out for those.
And the contest.
And we are wrapping up the art contest for America 250. So please be on the lookout for the promotion for the art exhibit and voting period. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot going on. We're proud of CCLS. We're doing amazing things.
We are doing amazing things. I think, you know what? Never mind.
So Kim S. and
Kim J.
signing off. And until then, we can't wait to have another Litimate conversation with you.
Thank you, girls, for coming.
Thank y'all. Would you like to
We just put on this morning.
Cheese, crackers, strawberries.